We interrupt our usual programming to bring you a special news report. War comes to Highsec. Heavy fighting, mass panic and large-scale evacuations are underway in Empire space as the big Capsuleer alliances slug it out over a major trade dispute. These events were triggered by the four empires making a joint declaration through Concord that Capsuleers would no longer be able to anchor new extra-large upwell stations anywhere within the borders of Empire space. Although having Capsuleers trading in a system was a huge boon to the local economies of these systems, the sheer scale of these operations has begun to undermine the local civilian market, and, under pressure from local trade groups and disgruntled citizens, the empires have taken this bold action to prevent the balance between Capsuleer and Empire commerce being upset any further. At the same time as banning new extra-large upwells, the empires also declared a massive overhaul of the tax regime, slashing taxes across the board in an attempt to lure Capsuleer trade and heavy industry away from vulnerable upwell stations and back into the local economy. These actions have left the existing Keepstar citadels and Sotio engineering complexes in high security space highly vulnerable, as they can now no longer be replaced. Normally this would not be a problem, as these structures are large enough to withstand massive amounts of firepower, especially in high security space where Capsuleers cannot bring capital ship weapons to bear against them. However, this joint declaration by the empires has triggered a staggering sequence of events within the political sphere of the Capsuleers, and this has led to open war, mass panic and the very imminent demise of all of these stations. 4 years ago, the largest entities in Capsuleer politics signed an agreement to anchor extra-large upwells within the Empire's borders, to offer lower taxes in the Empire stations, and to share out the profits, on the understanding that none of them would attack these highly valuable stations. Since then, many trillions of ISK has been shared out amongst the signatory alliances of the Tranquility Trading Consortium, and the stations have been mostly unmolested. However, 4 years is a long time in Capsuleer politics, and some of the signatory alliances are no longer as large or as politically powerful as they once were, but are still receiving the same share of profits. Other signatories have grown far larger in size and influence without having their share increased. With these stations no longer being able to be replaced, the threat of an attack on them has become very real, as smaller Capsuleer groups could make a name for themselves as the destroyers of these famous and irreplaceable stations, thereby elevating their own political standing as a result. In the face of this increased threat level and the shift in power dynamics amongst the signatories, the larger alliances proposed a renegotiation of the terms of the consortium agreement, but this was rejected out of hand by the smaller alliances. Unwilling to put their pilots in the firing line to defend the unearned profits of the smaller entities, the Goonswarm Alliance unilaterally withdrew from the consortium. This caused shockwaves in the remaining signatories and prompted another large alliance, Fraternity, to also pull out of the consortium. Sheer panic then set in amongst the remaining alliances, who immediately began the shutdown sequence on all jointly owned upwell stations, as they knew they would be unable to defend them from the inevitable incoming assaults. Capsuleers across the galaxy have sprung into action, desperate to evacuate their valuable goods from these soon-to-be-gone stations. Many thousands of transport ships have been seen swarming around the systems where these stations are, as pilots rush to get out whenever they can. Then, in another stunning development, Goonswarm declared war on the remaining consortium members and immediately attacked the largest station, the Keepstar in the perimeter system, halting the shutdown sequence. Was this an aggressive negotiation tactic to force the consortium back around the negotiating table? Or was this simply so that they would be the ones who destroy the station, denying the prestige of the kill to anyone else? With Capsuleer politics being what they are, it is very probably both of those things at the same time. Many other entities have also declared war on the consortium, and although the consortium has hired several mercenary groups, it seems that they will be facing overwhelming odds and will collapse. This chaos has spread to other high security trading and industrial cartels too, with I Choose You also having been put under war declarations by Goonswarm and many other entities. It seems that the Capsuleers have decided that if one trading cartel goes, then they are all going to go. Authorities are warning of the increased risk of Capsuleer pirates operating in systems with I Choose You and TTC stations as they try to feed upon the heavily laden evacuating haulers. How will these events affect the Capsuleer economy? How will this affect Capsuleer politics now they are being denied trillions of risk and passive income and have openly declared war on each other? We will bring you more on this massive story as it continues to unfold. Stay safe out there. Would you like to know more?